and yet another week of fun. I'm not wearing the sunglasses this time. I'm recording this late at night. It's a little hard to see some of the cycle reviews you guys submitted, so bear with me. We're not as swagged out, not quite the alpha male, but we got the Gengar chain, so let's rock. First up, CK World 96, 900 test, 450 bold. 6 I use GH. Could have saved that money and invested on coaching because you don't need 2 separate orals to kickstart and then bookend your cycle for like 4 weeks at a time. That's kind of fucking pointless. Now you bought 2 orals that you had to pay for 10 weeks supply of, and you are only using 4. I don't know. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense there. The 6 I use GH 900 test 450 EQ. That's fine. I would say the GH you could run it higher if you could afford it. I mean, this is one of those things like we wasted money on multiple orals when you could have just ran more GH or got a coach and dialed it all in. So in terms of that one, I'm gonna give it like a 6. Nah, not 5. Let's give it a 5 because there's definitely work that could be done there. I don't mind the dosing schedule per se, but just run Anadrol the whole time if it's a bulk, dude. Like, I don't see the point of flip-flopping orals and like
snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Using one to kickstart. We already know that's bullshit, so why are we even engaging in this? Zach Giles 51, 1 gram of test, 800 EQ, 10 IUs of GH, 6 to 10 IUs of Humalog with each meal, and pre-gym 50 milligrams of Anadrol per day. Now, I do like the compound selection until that's a bulk. Those doses are extremely high. Wonder how big this guy is already. He's a decently big guy, but it does look like probably could cut further, honestly, bro. Like your hips are still pretty wide and everything, if we're being 100% honest. Probably don't need the doses that high for where we're at. I don't mind high test, but high test plus 800 EQ, you can honestly probably run the EQ at half that. If you're running it that high, just to control estrogen. Okay, I get it. I mean, it's not a bad structure or anything. It's probably what I would do for a bulk. I would get leaner before I even run a bulk based on your pictures where you're at. Yeah, there are some barely visible abs, but there's still a lot of, visceral fat and fat around the hips and likely the lower back too, based on where your waist is at and your shape. So that's something I would probably hold off on, do a cut first, get down to like 8 to 10% body fat, and then hit the gas pedal on that. And you're going to see way better results on that. So dose is a little high. I'd still say it's probably like an 8. If I'm going to try to pack out as much mess as possible, this is very similar to something I usually do with my clients. So especially if they are wanting to use insulin, I would probably use 5 IUs to start with instead of 6 to 10. That's only if their carb load is like super high. Like if they're one of those people that bulks pretty well on lower carbs, you probably don't need the insulin. Gary Franta. 350 test, 150 Trent Hex. That was random. 10 milligrams injectable Superdrol. All right, well, Superdrol is not ever needed, if we're being honest. If you're a strength athlete, okay, but your test would need to be higher. So from making sense of this standpoint, you're super low in your doses, but we're taking 2 of the most toxic compounds, period.
This whole situation is toxic.
I think you'd be better off to use some less toxic compounds and run it for a longer period of time if you're going that low on the doses. If you were gonna just do a Superdrol sprint and run it with a higher trend, like whatever, I get it, at least makes a little more sense. Why are we like baby dosing like some of the most toxic shit possible when we could be doing something a little more advantageous to a bulk, which is what I'm assuming you're doing here, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, looking at his build and everything, he looks like he's a scrawnier dude, but I would not use Superdrol then, and we probably don't even need trend, bro. Like honestly, I think you need food, a DHT, and maybe EQ or NPP instead of that stack. Just basing it on the profile picture, maybe it's old, but where you're at, you look like scrawny skateboarder dude, not gonna lie. I don't think you need those compounds specifically. I think the diet needs to be dialed in, and then run something you're gonna run for a longer period of time instead of fucking your liver up right away and shortening down that bulk where you can actually ride that out and make more appreciable progress. I am Big Reed, 400 test, 200 EQ, 5 IUs GH, 2 milligrams of Retta. That's fine. And I mean, you could use that stack in either a bulk or a cut, honestly. I'm not sure if he's using the Retta for weight loss or for just keeping himself a little bit leaner. Using a low dose of Retta to keep yourself a little leaner is fine. As long as you can eat on it, that's the biggest thing with that. So I'm giving that one a 9 out of 10. That's good structure. That's safe. That's something you can run for a long time. Surf Fob. I don't fucking know what that is. 700 test, 700 mass, 500 MPP. I like it.
I love it.
The MPP is a little high, I think. If you haven't run it before, I would definitely be on the safer side and cut that in half. But the rest of it looks completely fine to me. So I'd say it's probably an 8.5 out of 10. I'm Nick James with a 3, okay. 500 test, 500 primo, 150 trend, 3 IUs GH, 50 YK, and 50 VAR. Get rid of the YK. Why the fuck are we running that? And VAR is completely fine. If you get rid of the YK, I would give you probably a 9, 9.5. I'd say the GH is a little low. You could have saved money, got rid of that stupid ass YK, and just ran some fucking GH, bro. Like 3 IUs ain't shit. But no, that's a really good bulk. Like that's good structure. That's something you can run for an extended period of time and actually put on some decent mass. So because of the YK, I gotta knock it down to an 8. Patty Daddy Fitness asks, can I boof trend respectfully, Daddy?
Daddy.
Shut up!
Yes, every single day, all day.
All day, every day.
Please do. Put it in there. Kev J Merv, 600 test, 400 mass, 200 primo, 200 trend, 50 VAR or Anadrol pre-workout, lean gain phase, thoughts. So it's a massing phase. I'd say that's completely fine. And either VAR or Anadrol, really. Anadrol will give you a more pronounced effect, but if you're one that struggles with aromatization or Anadrol still doesn't mix well with you, it's fine too. I'd give that one a 10 out of 10. Like honestly, like that's one of my favorite mixes right there.
I love it!
Obviously, I'd like to see EQ and DHT together if possible, but I understand splitting mass and primo too. I've been there myself, so I have no problem with that. They're all pretty interchangeable, really, at the end of the day. Kenny Ox, 500 test, 40 Deeble. What the fuck? All right, so we got this one. All right, 500 test, 40 Deeble, 12.5 of MK, 1200 of NAC. Why are we adding NAC in our steroid stack? Like, is that the only ancillary you're running? Because that's fucking stupid. And just added in Tren A. So you're just running a bunch of toxic shit that's gonna bloat you like a bag of shit. You're running Deeble and MK, dude. Are you trying to have a fucking stroke from how much water you're gonna retain?
See you later. I'm gonna die from clogged arteries about to explode.
Run normal GH. MK is fucking pointless there. It's just gonna make you retain even more water and make you eat a fuck ton. Deeble's already blowing you up like a bloated bag of fucking dog shit. And then you're just gonna add Tren and like, oh, that's gonna leave me out. That's not how it goes. Yeah, we're giving that one a 3 out of 10. Bobby Cable's restricted response. This guy's an asshole. No, he's been sending me nonstop messages. I restricted him, and there's about a page this long of him just running his mouth to himself, talking in my DMs. One of them did compare me to a Baywatch lifeguard. He's like, why do you look like a Baywatch lifeguard? I'm like, thanks, dude. Like, I will take that. I look like a handsome man. I'm jacked, tan. Fucking love it, dude. I love that. Thank you.
I love it more!
And it's funny because actually I went to the pool the other day and one of the hot girls in there called me a Baywatch lifeguard too. So you're just like doubling down, like building my confidence up, even though you were attempting to somewhat hurt me, but it didn't work very well for you. All right, on to the next one. Let's look at Trent List 2025, 250 test, 100 primo, 100 deca. Holy shit. 250 test, 100 primo, 100 deca, 40 var, 5 reta, 10 micrograms T4, 80 micrograms cleanse, 6 milligrams. Those are baby ass doses. I would probably run them all a little bit higher, except for the VAR. The red is fine. Cleanse a little on the high side. I mean, if you're cutting and this is the very end of a cut, this makes sense. Otherwise, it doesn't. I would say the compound selection is actually fine, besides Deca. Like, if this is a cut, why is Deca in there? Are you just running it for your joints? You guys will know I love that.
I'm running it for my joints.
Just don't fucking dry them out, dude. Like, drink enough water. Make sure you have your food in you. Your joints aren't gonna feel dry unless you're on fucking Winstrol. Like, be a fucking man and run a real goddamn cycle. Yeah, the Deca makes no sense. So we're gonna knock it down to an 8 because of that. But if this is the end of a cut, like the rest of it makes sense. I would say the cleanse a little high though. Madera DeBaz, a low dose, longer Anavar cycle, lift days only, smart dump, fucking retarded if that's all you're running. If you have a test base, that's okay. But the context you're giving me is just that you're running Anavar. Like, are you an AIDS patient? Do you have fucking burns? Are you suffering from muscular dystrophy and you have fucking muscle wasting diseases? Oh, then it's smart. But if you're doing this for a bulk or whatever the fuck you're trying to use it for, why are you running Anavar solo?
Oh, let's just fucking, every bit of information I've ever seen says don't do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway, just because.
I don't get it. Like, I don't fucking get some of these people, dude. Like, you do this every week. I still see dumb shit. The aesthetic saint, dude, you put one in every fucking week. 450 test, 400 mass, 200 primo, fine. 150 MPP, fine. 6 IUs. GH, heavy estrogen. If you're a heavy converter, why are you running MPP? Usually your heavy converters also have heavy prolactin and progesterone issues. So the MPP is just going to exacerbate that. And if you already have estrogen issues, now it's hard to tell which one's doing what. I would say just cut the fucking MPP and put EQ in instead. I think that'll do you a world of a difference because the EQ plus primo together are going to cut that estrogen down, and you don't have to worry about the prolactin bullshit. So besides the EQ or the MPP, it looks fine. I would say it's probably an 8. Megan Lee asks, how's my frog doing? He's doing awesome. I just saw him out there. I actually sent her a Snapchat of him. We were hanging out one time, and she picked up a frog and started petting him on the belly like a dog, and he was just sitting there like loving it. It was hilarious. So no, your frog is doing great, Megan. Thomas Narangis. Do you like hugs? Yeah. Thomas again. Siblings. 3. Thomas again. Height and weight. I'm like 5'9", 190. Sorry, can you bounce your pecs? I guess so. That was a weird set of questions.
Gay!
From now on, cycle review questions go under cycle reviews. That was just fucking weird. All right, back to real questions. So the Alex Myers, is it possible to become fertile after years of blasting and cruising while staying on a TRT dose, HCG, HMG? Yes. Yes, I would say it's actually more common than not. People freak out because they're like, oh, well, I'll never get fertility back. I get to see it where it didn't come back. Anecdotally, just the hundreds of people I've talked to and everything else, I just have not seen it not come back. Dave Palumbo knocked up his fucking wife, and we know Dave didn't take little baby cycles. So I'm pretty sure you have a better chance than not of it coming back. I know people get girls pregnant on cycle all the time, so it's just going to be a longer road. Like, you're going to need to get it back. Some people, they have to come off all the way, and it takes them a couple of years to get that full LH and FSH production back and the sperm count up and everything else. So it might be a long road, but typically, generally from what I've seen, you should be okay. 17v0, nothing. Cool, dude. All right, fucking kill yourself. M. Peter King, 400 tests, 200 maths. It's fine. It's kind of a bitch ass cycle, but it is like a 9 out of 10. Like, you can't argue with it. It's safe. It's effective. Does what it's supposed to. We're okay with it. I think that actually wraps them up. And there was a lot of them, not gonna lie. I know we kind of ripped through, but you guys did pretty good. You showed out. You gave me some answers. You gave me some spicy ones, some different ones. I appreciate that. So if you like this kind of content, once again, make sure you go ahead, drop me a follow, like, subscribe. Down in the description, there are links to my coaching applications, my Instagram, etc. Check those out. You guys are gonna love what you find in there. Until the next time, I'll see you guys later.